Welcome to today's episode. Let's start with a few questions for you to think about. Do you find it easy to have conversations in English? What do you usually talk about when meeting new people? How do you keep a conversation going when you're unsure what to say next? In this episode, we're diving into conversational English, an essential skill for building confidence and fluency in everyday situations. Whether you're chatting with a friend, meeting someone new, or having a professional discussion, knowing how to navigate conversations is key. Let's start with some common expressions to help you begin a conversation. When you meet someone, you might say, "Hi, how's it going?" Or, "Nice to meet you." These simple greetings can set a friendly tone. If you want to learn more about the person, try asking, "Where are you from?" Or, "What do you do for work or study?" These questions are great for starting small talk and showing interest in the other person. Once a conversation starts, keeping it flowing is important. One way to do this is by asking follow-up questions. For example, if someone says, "I'm from Italy," you could reply, "Oh, that's interesting. What's your favorite thing about living there?" Or if they mention their job, you can ask, "What do you enjoy most about your work?" And this shows that you're paying attention and encourages them to share more. Have you ever been in a conversation where you didn't know what to say next? Don't worry, it happens to everyone. One helpful tip is to share your own experiences or opinions. For instance, if someone mentions they like traveling, you could say, "I love traveling too. My favorite trip was to the mountains last year." Have you ever been to the mountains? Sharing your own story makes the conversation more engaging and personal. Another important part of conversational English is reacting naturally. When someone tells you something exciting, you can say, "Wow, that's amazing," or "That sounds great." If they share a problem, you could say, "I'm sorry to hear that," or "That must be tough." These reactions show empathy and help build a connection. What about ending a conversation politely? This can be just as important as starting one. You might say, "It was great talking to you," or "I really enjoyed our chat. Let's talk again soon." These phrases leave a positive impression and show that you value the interaction. Learning conversational English is not just about using the right words. It's also about understanding tone and body language. For example, smiling and making eye contact can make you seem approachable and friendly. Your tone of voice can also change the meaning of your words. Saying "that's nice" with enthusiasm sounds positive, but saying it in a flat tone might seem uninterested. Have you ever tried practicing conversations with a friend or a language partner? Role-playing common situations like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions can help you gain confidence. The more you practice, the more natural your conversations will feel. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. No one expects you to be perfect, especially if English is not your first language. The most important thing is to keep trying and to focus on communicating your ideas. Over time, you'll find that conversations become easier and more enjoyable. Now let's talk about building your vocabulary for conversational English. Learning phrases like, "That's a good question," "I see what you mean," and "Could you explain that a bit more?" can make your conversation smoother and more interactive. These phrases show that you're engaged and interested in what the other person is saying. How do you feel about conversations that switch topics? For example, you might start talking about hobbies and then move on to travel or food. Being able to transition smoothly is another great skill. You could say, "Speaking of travel, have you ever been to a tropical island?" Or "That reminds me of something interesting I read recently." These transitions keep the conversation dynamic and engaging. By practicing these skills, you'll become more confident in your ability to hold conversations in English. Remember, it's not just about the words. It's about listening, responding, and connecting with the person you're speaking to. Let's dive even deeper into how we can improve conversational English. A major part of having smooth conversations is staying relaxed. Sometimes when we speak in a second language, it's easy to get nervous or worry about making mistakes. But remember, every conversation is a chance to learn and improve. So when you're practicing, try to stay calm and focus on expressing your ideas clearly, even if you need to pause to think for a moment. A good way to stay relaxed is by listening carefully to what the other person says. Active listening is an essential skill in conversation. This means not just hearing the words, but really understanding the meaning behind them. For example, if someone says, "I've been really busy with work lately," instead of just nodding, you might respond with something like, "That sounds tough. How do you manage to find time for yourself?"